Hi, this is Nate Lambert. Thank you so much for joining me today. I can't wait to share with you some really important things. First of all, let's talk a little bit about Corona era. This is really, I believe, the golden age for real estate investing. I can't wait to share with you all the reasons why this is really the best time ever to jump into real estate. The opportunities are going to be phenomenal. Before we get to that, though, I'd like to ask you a question. I'd like to ask you, what are 3 things that you would do, have, or experience if you had true financial freedom? Okay, pause the video for a second and just jot down with me 3 things that you would do, have, or experience. Okay. Thanks so much for jotting that down. Here's my definition of financial freedom. It's the freedom to do what you want, when you want, where you want, with whom you want, and for how long you want. A lot of people think of financial freedom as wealth, but if you don't have the time and the freedom, then what does wealth matter, right? So I'm here to get you out of the rat race. I'm here to show you a new path through real estate that you can really have this kind of financial freedom in your life. So before I talk about that, let me share with you my financial freedom journey. So I was the valedictorian of my university. I graduated valedictorian, and then I loved teaching and I loved learning. So I thought, what do I need to do next to really magnify those gifts? And I thought, I need to get my PhD. So I went to Florida State University, got my PhD, and learned how to publish like crazy. I mean, I had 70 plus peer-reviewed journal article publications, 5 books. It was a great experience. I learned under a great mentor, and it paid off. I mean, I got all kinds of awards for my research in Australia, got presented my research in the Middle East, and even got invited to do presentations in England, all expense paid. It was great. But then I started really just kind of getting bored. I started feeling like this guy who says, if I died and went straight to hell, it would take me a week to realize that I wasn't at work anymore. Maybe you felt like that before. I know that's really how I felt. And so I started reading all the books on how to build wealth. And you know what? They all told me to invest in real estate, So why real estate? Well, for one, it is the beaten path. So it's the oldest profession in the world, and success leaves clues. So many other entrepreneurial paths, so uncertain. 95% of businesses fail in the first 5 years. But in real estate, you just have to plug into certain formulas, and then you can really have the kind of success that you want to have. In fact, if you look at the wealthy 1%, you're going to see the wealthy 1%, most of them are real estate investors and business owners. In fact, the wealthy 1%, they often start a business and then they buy real estate to house their business. So if you look at this, 74% of the top 1% are business owners and real estate investors. Another reason why I love real estate is that you can use other people's money to build wealth. It doesn't have to be your own money. Use other people's money. That's a big concern for most people in terms of getting into real estate investing. They think, I got to have all this money raised. Now I'm going to show you how to use hard money lenders, private money lenders. I rarely use my own money for a deal. And that's a great way to do real estate investing. I've had as many as 14 deals at a time with, again, none of my own money out. So there's so many ways to do that I'm going to show you how. Another one is that you can leverage other people's time. You don't have to be in there swinging the hammers, fixing up those houses. I always hire other people to do it. And that's how I've been able to travel as extensively as I have, is because I hire other people to do everything. So I don't have to do it myself, because I want that time freedom. I don't want to trade one job for another. So all these reasons made me think I want to do real estate, but I knew that I had to get educated. So here's what I did to get educated. I started off with a buy and hold rental finder company. I used my home equity line of credit, and I got my first rental property with a mortgage. And that was awesome, except it was a huge down payment. And, I just couldn't get into another property. And so I had to get creative, right? So I found a guru company, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And, they taught me some interesting things, got me excited, but there was no support, right? In fact, I like to compare these guru groups to the circus. What they do is they come into town, they give you a good show for a few days, and then at the end of the weekend, they leave town, just like the circus, and you're stuck trying to figure this out on your own. And so next I got my realtor's license, and I started plugging in, started figuring out how I was going to do this. And I sold this house. I finished the basement of this house that I was living in, and I was going to sell it with my license. I maxed out every credit card, maxed out a loan on my 401k. I did everything I could to finish that house, but then it wasn't selling, and I was getting stressed. And then on my way to a real estate conference, my car broke down. I was in a bad spot, and my house still wasn't selling. And now I had to borrow my brother's car to get anywhere. So it was a terrible situation. And then I found a group called Renatus. Renatus taught me one thing. They taught me about seller financing. And I was able to tick that box saying I was open to seller finance offers. And soon enough, I had literally 2 competing offers, and I sold that house for $109,000 profit. That was almost double my salary as a professor. And so it was that day that I decided, man, I am just going to be a real estate investor for good. But first, I'm like, hey, I'm going to go live my dream. I paid off all my student loan debt with that profit. And then we decided as a family to move to Fiji. I lived in this house with a beautiful ocean view, and the TV show that inspired my dream to move abroad was House Hunters International. And my family and I, we applied, and we got on the program. So I got to live it up in Fiji and be on House Hunters International. It was a thrilling experience. And then I came back and got back to work. And I had a lot of success, a lot of money made. Let me show you a few of those deals. So I made $32,000 on this fix and flip. I'll make $96,000 on this property. I'm the bank. I sold it to someone on seller financing, and I'm getting payments every month. So I'll make $96,000 over the next several years. On this flip, I made $32,000. That's about my average profit, 30 to 50. I've made over 100,000 3 times on 3 different deals. But my average is 30 to 50. Then I'm also doing a lot of rental properties. Making 550 of cash flow on this one, 580 on this property. And the great thing about rentals is they help me save in taxes. And that's a lot of what I've been learning from this Renatus education, is how to save on my taxes. Let me show you a cool example using cost segregation. Because in 2018, I was making more money than I ever dreamed of. And suddenly I had a tax problem. I didn't want to have to pay the government. I was on track to paying them like $120,000. But then I bought this rental property for $280,000. And I paid $1,500 to have a study done, which essentially accounts for all the 10-year assets, and it segregates them. You're going to learn all the details of how this works. But the crux of it is that it allows me to depreciate 10 years of my rental property. Usually you get 27 and a half. I could take the first 10 years all in year one, which what that did is it gave me a chance to write off $76,000 on my taxes. And I just did it again and again. I bought a few more rentals and wrote off my taxes. And I literally still qualified for 3 loans that month because I wrote off everything. I got a $5,000 tax refund, and I was still able to count that income toward buying my dream house and other properties, right? So that's the amazing thing that you can do. Wrote off, $280,000 in 2018. In 2019, I wrote off $330,000 using this strategy. And again, excuse me, that was a $5,000 refund. So that saved me, writing off that 280 saved me literally $121,000 in taxes. So let's talk about the Corona era and why this is the best time to get started in your real estate investing journey. First of all, the only time more millionaires were made than the Great Recession was the Great Depression. So many people just crushed it. In fact, around half of today's Fortune 500 companies got started during the Great Recession of 2008. This kind of change brings all kinds of opportunity. I like to say big problems that are being created by the government's response to this COVID-19 it creates big problems. They've created big problems which requires big problem solvers. So you can be a hero to these people that are in bad situations, bail them out, and make great profit for yourself too. So the opportunities are in great abundance for those who have the knowledge and the connections to make the most of it. So why invest specifically during the Corona era? Well, as you've seen, non-essential things like travel have gotten hit hard. Shelter, next to food only, is an essential service that everybody needs, and hard assets are king right now. Hard assets are king. And the 4 Ds, I'm going to talk a little bit about supply and demand here, okay? So the 4 Ds create a lot of supply. There's more deals than ever before. So if you think the 4 Ds are displacement, right? A lot of people have been displaced. They've had to change jobs. They're moving around. There's people getting divorced after the quarantines and everything. People are starting to rethink things. Financial challenges create the divorces. Then you've got, unfortunately, some people are dying, right? And not only from the Corona, but from the economic trouble that has resulted from the Corona. And that creates a lot of changes and a lot of moves. And then you've got default. So many people are in a bad spot because they've lost their job and they can't pay their mortgage anymore, and the bank's going to throw them out. And you can help them. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do that. But that creates all kinds of deals on the marketplace. And all the non-professional investors are scared. They're like, I don't want to invest right now, because they don't know how to do it. But the good thing is that decreases the demand for properties. So when you get a lot of extra supply and a lot lower demand, what happens to prices? Oh yeah, big discounts. So I like to say with Valentine's, right? When is the best time to buy Valentine's candy at a huge discount? On February 13th, the 14th, or the 15th? Definitely the 15th, right? And that the big discounts, if they aren't already here in your market, they are coming. And the other great thing is that the rates are smoking hot right now. You can get great deals on money. Money is cheap. Bank loans are cheap. Hard money, private money is more available. People are thinking the stock market isn't a great thing, so they want to invest, they want to put their money in hard assets. So money is cheap. Why rentals? Why are rentals a great thing? Well, first of all, a lot of people think, hey, I want to become debt-free. That's their big goal. Well, I tell people, don't become debt-free until you've got the amount of rentals that you want to give you financial freedom in your life, right? So being debt-free is actually a terrible idea until you've hit your target number of rentals. So if you want 15,000 a month, you need to get 15 or so rentals in most markets and get them paid off, and then you're going to have that 15,000 a month. So wait till later until you've hit your target to become debt-free. And then, you know, another thing with rentals is there's more demand in times like this. You know, when people are getting displaced from their job, when they're going into default, or some of those other Ds that we talked about, people are without a house. They've been forced to move. And so there's more demand for rentals in down markets. And when there's a decrease of supply, and there's also a decrease in supply at times like this because new construction is down. These builders, they don't have as many materials, and they don't want to take the risks like that, you know, when people aren't buying houses as much. So supply is down, demand is up. And so again, what happens? Prices go up during recessions, during economic downturns. So rentals are a great investment right now. Incredible. I mean, this could last for a long time. Not to mention there's a lot of benefits to a rental. So there's 4 main benefits. I mean, you've got the cash flow for one. That's essentially, you know, the money that you're making from the rents minus your principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, right? So you're getting that monthly check, which gets a lot bigger once you pay that off. The second benefit is you get renters who are paying off your debt for you. So every time they write out a check, which is the first check people make, and the last one they skip is their rental check. So as they make those payments, your equity goes up and up and up. The third benefit is the tax benefit. You saw what I did with, you know, writing off 280,000 in 2018, writing 330 off in 2019. There's no reason you should be paying taxes these days, right? I mean, you're contributing enough to the economy as an investor. You don't need to throw it to Uncle Sam. And then the last big one is appreciation. I mean, that house I showed you in Provo, my first flip, I literally made 109,000, mostly based on appreciation. So I've seen some of my properties appreciate, you know, a couple, like 80, 90,000 in the last 2 years. So that's huge. And then inflation, guys, is our friend. I mean, the government is printing money. When I film this, I mean, literally, the government had just printed out $2 trillion to bail us out. They've probably printed out more since I've made this video. And they're going to have to keep printing out all kinds of money to fix things. And I don't know for sure. Who knows? No one has a crystal ball. But I think there's probably going to be inflation. If there is, it could be a great thing for us as investors. Let me show you why. So in today's market, let's say you have a loan for $300,000. And let's say you got it at market value. So the value is $300,000. And let's say you rented it out. You're charging $2,000 a month for rents, and then your monthly payment is $1,500 to the mortgage, and your cash flow is $500, your gross cash flow. Now, in an inflated market, that loan amount stays the same, okay, which is great. It's now devalued. That bank isn't going to get as much value out of you paying it off because money isn't worth as much. But your house is worth a lot more. So you can get other home equity lines of credit. You can pull more money out. Say it's worth $450. So that's changed. And your rent, you can charge more. Money's not worth as much, and people are getting paid higher salaries in an inflationary market. So you can charge more for rent, and not to mention there's higher demand. So let's say you're making $3,000 in monthly rent, but your monthly payment hasn't changed. Your monthly payment stayed the same at $1,500. And so that's, that's a huge bonus, because what happens to your cash flow? Your cash flow could triple. It could triple, so you could pay that house off way faster, or use that money for your lifestyle, whichever one you want to do, right? So there's a lot of huge benefits. So let me talk to you a little bit about the partner program that I offer, because I want to help as many people get into deals as I can. I feel like that's the best way to learn and figure this stuff out. And I'd love some partners to do deals with. You can get a lot of help from me. So here's a couple things about my partner program. First, we do a deal here in Utah. Utah, over the last 5 years, has been the #1 appreciating market in the whole country. #1 in the country. And so I'm going to find deals. I have a huge network. I have so many people throwing deals at me, and I've built relationships with these wholesalers, these people who find deals at a great discount, and then they sell them to people like me, especially with the relationships I've developed. So I'm gonna find a property that I could probably make $20,000 or $30,000 if I flipped it. Instead of flipping it, I'm bringing that deal to you to work together on this as a credit partner. Okay, so what this does for you is it gets you into your first deal right away. This is how I got my first deal, right? It's through a regular bank loan, and then I'm going to show you how to find them through seller financing and other creative ways. And then you're going to learn every step along the way with someone who has over 50 rentals. And you can then use my systems, my paperwork, and my support to go and build your empire. Take what I teach you and go use it and get more and more on your own. Or we could do another one if you want. So it's a great benefit. So why now? Why now? Well, for one, a lot of people are realizing after this Corona era thing, I mean, their job maybe isn't as safe as secure as they would like to think. How about a little side hustle? How about we show you how you can ultimately replace your income through real estate investing? But until you've replaced it, hey, you got another great side hustle stream of income coming in. And it's the perfect time to learn. There's so much going on right now. This is a great time to jump on some online education, figure out how to do this, and make a killing. And then, of course, you got to be prepared. You don't want to miss out on an opportunity of a lifetime, really, to have the knowledge and the relationships built so that you can capitalize on all the amazing deals that are coming. I mean, I think all the time, man, all those deals in 2009, 2010, what if I had bought a ton of properties then? I would be in such great shape. But the good news is that chance is coming now. So let me talk to you a little bit about the next thing I want to talk about is using this velocity banking program to make big strides. But we'll talk about that. A lot of you that are watching this video are from the Replace Your Mortgage group, and you've already heard what that strategy looks like. So I'm going to jump forward. If you haven't heard about that, how to use home equity lines of credit, please reach out to me. I can't wait to share it with you. But for the rest of you, you've seen that strategy. It's a great way to pay off debt quickly. But I'm going to jump in and show you guys what all these rentals and what financial freedom has done for me. Okay. So this is, for me, financial freedom is all about traveling the world. All about traveling the world with my family. I'm looking forward to doing that once things clear up. Let me just show you what my financial freedom calendar looked like in 2019. I mean, literally January, we went on a 3.5-week trip. Thailand, Cambodia, almost one of the most exciting places that I've ever been. In February, we spent 10 days in Southern Florida. In April, we spent 8 days in England and Scotland on this fun trip, me and my wife. And then I took my whole family to meet their Russian grandma. We went to Greece 4 weeks. And then in August, 7 days in Panama. October, we spent 11 days in Maui, Hawaii. And then just recently in December and January, we spent 3 weeks in China and India. So this is literally 3 months of vacation just in 2019, okay? So here's a couple of pictures of some of the other travel that I've done. This is us driving around in our motorhome. Again, we get to do what we want, when we want, where we want, for how long we want, right? And this is us in Costa Rica in an incredible pool heated by a nearby volcano. This is my family and I in Fiji. Got to baptize my son in Fiji. This is us hanging out in in Thailand, riding on elephants. And we went to Cambodia, saw some amazing temples. We went to New Zealand as a family, went to the Caribbean, and Puerto Rico, going on cruises, cruising down through several of the islands, hanging out with manta rays. This is me diving with the sharks in Fiji. You know, this is me going skydiving in Hawaii. So what it also did, what financial freedom has meant, is that I've been able to build up massive life insurance reserves. If anything happens to me, my wife's going to get $10 million. It's weird. She doesn't remind me to buckle my seatbelt anymore. Now, I also have set up entities, retirement accounts. So this education is going to teach you how to do all this stuff that you didn't think was possible to save on taxes and to build an incredible retirement. I got to buy my dream car, a car that drives itself, and then moved into my dream house. It actually has a guest house and has 8,600 square feet. It includes a full sports court and a theater room. I mean, this has been an amazing place, hanging out in this amazing neighborhood. So let me share with you one of my goals. I mean, one of my goals is I'm looking to get 100 properties, 100 single family homes. Because once I get all those paid off, I will literally be able to cash flow $100,000 a month. Now that's what gets me excited every day, to go find more and more. $100,000 in cash flow. My other goal is to help 100 people to become real estate millionaires. I want to help 100 people become real estate millionaires. Let me show you a little bit about why me. Why can I help you, hopefully to attain this kind of financial freedom and to become a real estate millionaire? So for one, I'm an educator, right? I spent 10 years as a professor, as a teacher, mentoring graduate students, mentoring people, teaching them how to publish. Now I've just changed that from helping people learn how to publish to learning how to get deals and make $30,000 to $50,000 to $100,000 profits, right? So I bring a lot of great teaching and mentoring skills to the table. And then I've done a lot of deals. I already have 50 rentals, over 50 rentals. I'm making it happen for myself, and I'm going to show you how to do it. And I've also done over 50 flips. So, I can show you the ropes. And I have people that I've been coaching in over 40 states. And I've helped over 140 people get into a real estate deal. So, there's a lot of reasons I can help. One thing that I didn't have on the slide is I've raised, over $10 million in money. So I can show you how to raise money. And, I've traveled the world. I've been to over 45 countries. I can show you the systems so that if you like travel or you just want time freedom to do whatever you want, I'm the one to show you that, because I'm doing it, right? I'm living that kind of lifestyle. And I'm not only going to show you how to find them and fund them, but I'm going to show you how to have other people manage them so you can go and have fun with your family or with whoever you want, right? So what do I offer? Well, there's two parts to this. For one, you got to get educated. And this Renatus program that I joined 5 years ago, they have over 500 hours of online video training. Over 500 hours. This is so many classes. So there's different packages to get you started, but really to get what you really need, you need this. This is 60 real estate classes. This is all the different types of real estate you could ever want to do: commercial, multifamily, fix and flips, rentals, seller financing, you name it, short sales. So 60 real estate classes, 9 classes on starting a business, right? Because I want you to really crush it on all dimensions. And so you're going to learn how to start a business. And then there's 10 financial bonus classes on how to pay off debt quickly using this velocity banking, replace your mortgage type strategy. And and then how to get life insurance, how to use that as a tool, how to build business and personal credit, how to use retirement accounts, so many things in addition to all the real estate that you're going to get. And it's just one low price of $22,994. I know that sounds like a lot of money, and I don't even want you to think about that for now. I'm going to show you how literally you can try this out with no obligation, okay? One other thing I'm going to mention is that with this, you get one-on-one coaching with Gavin McCaleb. He's done even more deals than me, over 200 deals. You're going to learn from him and get one-on-one sessions. And then you're also going to get a chance to do these bonuses, right? And I'm going to give you a chance to test drive this out for a small refundable deposit. So you're going to have the first bonus for my Determined Dozen group is the scripts and formulas. I'm going to show you what price you need to get this at to make it work. I'm going to show you the formula that shows your maximum allowable offer. I'm going to show you what to say to sellers so you know how to negotiate these deals with them. Okay, and ultimately how to evaluate a property. My goal isn't to just help you to make money, it's to help you to not lose money. And there's video trainings that help you to utilize these tools. Another bonus is that I'm going to invite you to be a part of my Facebook community, Real Estate Wealth Creators. There's over 1,500 members in here. And I do live trainings every Monday on a variety of topics. So you're going to have access to this online community. You can ask questions. You can get help through that Facebook group. And then another bonus, your third bonus, is every Wednesday morning, I do accountability mastermind. I'm going to ask you to try and put in 10 hours a week, 5 hours of learning, 5 hours of taking action, talking to sellers, and looking for properties. And so, I'm gonna hold your feet to the fire with your permission and really help you to make this progress. Most people in the group are working a full-time job, but I find most people can download the classes onto their phone and listen, and then take some action nights and weekends if necessary, and make things happen on 10 hours a week. So the fourth bonus is you're going to get access to a free trial of the Renatus iOS. This is going to show you how you can literally find properties in your area, how you can find incredible deals. You'll type in your address. I have a friend that will show you your area when we meet for a follow-up meeting. And literally you can put in your address and you'll see hundreds of deals. These aren't the MLS deals. These are amazing off-market deals. And then, another bonus is the deal room. So I had so many people in this Determined Dozen group getting so many deals that I opened up more of my time to help people on Monday nights. So you can bring your deal. We'll go over it with a whiteboard. We'll talk it over. We'll answer any other real estate questions you have. So you're going to get a lot of help. We're going to analyze deals and answer all your questions that you have. So there's so many great bonuses, so many reasons to jump in this. And again, you have a chance to test drive this. I did a test drive with the Tesla. It seemed like a lot of money, but then I realized that it would drive me around and save all kinds of time for me to do other things. So I want you to have a chance to just try this out. Take it for a test drive. literally just a $2,000 refundable deposit. $2,000 refundable. And what that gives you access to is it gives you access to 11 of the classes, 11 of the 70 classes. So you can, and again, you're not going to have time to watch all of them, but I'd say if you can carve out 3 to 4 hours you have 7 days, right? So you'll have 7 days to take some time and watch 30 minutes of one, 40 minutes of another, maybe an hour of a third, just to get a good sampling of the amazing content that you're going to get through these great Renatus classes. And you're going to get all those bonuses that I talked about, all the bonuses. You're going to get access to my masterminds. You're going to be able to jump on the calls, hear other people that are doing deals, and hear how I'm helping them get motivated and inspired by how they're finding and doing these things. So I'd love for you to do the test drive. Let me share with you a couple of people from the Determined Dozen who have had a lot of success. Kevin and Joyce Booth said, within a week of joining Renatus, we got into a seller finance deal, and 15 days later, we made $23,000, more than it cost us to get started. Nate was also helpful in getting us going on our first flip. We're so grateful for this experience, and it was worth every penny. Nick Kazakov says, shortly after joining Renatus, we partnered on a motorhome that cash flowed as much as $6,000 in a month. I now have a fleet of 5 of them, and I'm doing several fix and flips, have replaced my income and quit my job. A lot of people too quit their job. His program was a life changer. George Allen says, I didn't think I'd have time for real estate since I had a full-time job and served as a pastor in my church. But through Renatus, I acquired 11 rental properties and did 3 flips in 6 months, and I now have quit my job. I'm so glad I took the plunge. Garrett Reed said, I started Renatus 3 years ago, and it absolutely launched my real estate career. I just completed my 45th transaction. He's crushing it. It's been such a rewarding experience, and I can't thank Nate enough for introducing me to it. Alan Grove said, I've been a realtor for several years, but Renatus and Nate taught me how to see deals differently. After my first 14 months, I'm working on my 15th flip. I made over $250,000 this year. That was for 2019. Alan's crushing it. So many success stories that I've had. And ultimately, guys, I want to tell you that the ultimate reason to do this is to make a difference, to pay it forward. This is me and my family on our trip to Cambodia. And this is the water that these people are drinking. I mean, the people are drinking this gross, terrible water that's making them sick. So what do? I teamed up with this group called Vision Cambodia, and we build wells. We build dozens. I've contributed enough for dozens of wells that have helped a couple thousand villagers to have water for their needs. So I would love to not only help you become wealthy, but to help you contribute to causes like this that you care about. That's my ultimate goal. So how do we do that? Well, I have a 3-phase plan that I want to show you. Phase 1 is do the test drive. Try this out. I'm going to show you all these systems, formulas. I'm going to show you how to really crush it. And if you like it, then hey, you don't have to pay the balance right at the end of the week. We'll talk through, come up with a plan to finance it. My favorite thing is 0% cards. I help people get often $30,000 that they can put it all on a 0% card, get all these reward points, and literally pay it off on their first deal. And you have 18 months that you don't have to pay any interest on that. So there's a lot of ways, but don't worry about that now. I just want you to jump in and just give this a try for a week and meet my team, see my systems, jump into this test drive. And then we're going to, during phase 2, you'll jump into the classes. We'll get you educated. We'll get you building relationships, creating a real estate team, and we'll get you into your first deal. Maybe a partner deal with me. Now, that's not obligatory. You can I'll show you how to do them in your own area. But if you want to do a deal with me here in Utah, I'd love to help you jump into your first deal. And then after that, I want to help you to build your empire. I'll help you get more and more deals so you can just crush it. and I'll show you the systems that you need to do this. And then finally, I want to show you how to overcome your fear. I know that this sounds like a lot of money, but really, I'm taking all the risk out of this with the test drive. So you just got to get over that fear hump. You just gotta try this out. I'd love for you to just try this out for a week and to overcome the fear. And a great example of someone who's just overcome their fear and crushed it is Edmund Fontana. Edmund, if you wouldn't mind, if you could tell everybody a little bit of what was your life like before joining the Determined Dozen, and what have you done since? I'd love for you to tell them a little bit of your backstory.
You mean before you asked me for the $20,000?
That's right, man.
I'm sorry, man. I had to do it. It was just one of those things. Before I really knew who you were, Nate, and really what the Determined Dozen was all about, was just working as an assistant principal. Loved the job, but as my wife had our second son, really started to make me kind of question, the amount of time that I was spending at work. It was, I was spending anywhere from 65, 70-hour work weeks. I know you and I had a conversation a little over 2 years ago, and, obviously price was the sticking point for me. I didn't really know you. I didn't necessarily know what the Determined Dozen and everything was all about. But then about last April or May, I really decided that I needed to take action. I needed to do something different. And since I had, the blessing from Michael Lush, basically, also told me that, he was a Determined Dozen member and part of your group, that made me feel a whole lot more comfortable, knowing that he vetted you through this process, which was very helpful for me. Then I started, to look into you a little bit more. We did our second call. But the second call was a lot different. It was, you were giving me an opportunity to check everything out first to make sure that I was a good fit for you and you were a good fit for me. And the rest has kind of been history, but I'm currently working on my, 10th real estate transaction. Definitely got a couple more lined up. And it's definitely went a lot further than, what I originally, I guess, than the original expectations that I had set for myself.
That's awesome, man. 10 deals in under a year, crushing it.
Yeah, it's been an amazing process. I definitely have learned a lot. That was my thing. I'm an educator at heart. I'm a firm believer in, make sure you have, you surround yourself with the proper education, the proper people, and take action. And if you do those things, I tell people all the time, I kind of love everything you have on here, fight the fear, that says a lot about, a lot of things in life, right? Fear, it holds everybody back from doing the things they want. Everything that you want is on the other side of fear. And that's just something I stand by. And that was something that I knew I needed to get past. I needed to get those first couple of real estate transactions under my belt, to make sure that, I understood the process and that, this was something that I was going to continue to roll with. And now, I'm home. I'm working from home now. I get to make my own schedule. I get to spend a whole lot more quality time with my kids, and listen to you on Facebook.
Thanks, brother. You've been a great example to everyone. Now, I know a lot of people on here are thinking like, hey, should I book a meeting? Should I connect with Nate and also Edmund, right? I mean, that's the cool thing. I'm going to give him a chance to meet you as well. Why do you think people should go ahead and jump on and meet with us? What are you going to show them?
I mean, the bottom line is there's absolutely zero risk to this, right? Everybody gets caught up in the money in the beginning and, oh my gosh, this is $20,000. This phone call that you're going to have with us is not about the money, right? It is about determining whether or not you are going to be a good fit for the determined dozen, and whether or not we're going to be a good fit for you, and whether or not you're going to be a good fit for the individuals that's potentially looking into this. Right? There's some really amazing tools and education that they're going to see. Right here, I'm going to show them live. You're also going to show them. They're going to be able to see, how do we find our deals, right? What systems do we use to find the deals, right? That was a game changer for me, all right? And then what's the quality of this education really like, right? I was thinking it was going to be 5-10 minute video clips, that sort of thing. I was wrong, right? The education, I mean, this is like getting your bachelor's degree or your master's degree in learning how to not just become an investor, but learning how to start your own business, run your own business. I mean, it talks about tax planning. It talks about, retirement. So there's just a lot more to this that people just need to see.
Awesome. And then, in addition to the education, Edmund, how is like connecting with me a couple times a week on these coaching calls? I mean, how has that helped you?
So that was probably one of the main reasons I decided to move forward with this, was because, you can have all the education in the world, right? If you have the education and that's all you have, then this doesn't necessarily work. And there's a lot of other guru companies out there, and that's all they really provide is just the education, right? What I liked about you is you provide the application side of things. So not only do we get the proper education that we need, but we also get the support that is needed for this, right? There have been times, and Nate, I needed to call you, I needed to vent, I needed to get my mind right, because your state of mind is super important with this whole thing. And being able to have that opportunity to meet with you on Monday and Wednesday, has really been able to help me take my business to the next level, because there was just, there's times where you need that mentorship. I mean, people say, so find the people that are doing what you want to do, and then, build relationships with those individuals. And that's exactly what I think I've done with you.
Absolutely, man. You've been crushing it. So, and I know one of the things that's helped you is the Renatus iOS tool. What are you going to show people when they connect with us during our follow-up meeting?
So I'm literally going to pull up their zip code in their area and show them the amount of distressed properties that they have that they don't even realize. I love the wow factor, right? Every time that I pull that zip code up and I say, here's X amount of deals in your area. You think you can find one deal to pay yourself back on your investment? Right? There's multiple deals in so many different zip codes, and everybody thinks it's got to be the MLS. It's not the MLS. You don't want to be on the MLS. You want to find the distressed properties. And that's what Renatus iOS does for you. And, I walk them through the process. I show them where the deals are, and then I even show them how to connect to those deals to get their business started.
I love it, man. You do such a good job. You've used that to find so many deals yourself, and it's amazing how many distressed properties out there, and that number's only going to go up with this Corona thing going on.
Absolutely.
That's great, man.
You have to, and like with this, everything that's going on with the Corona, era right now, which is essentially what this is going to be, for those of you out there, you need to make sure you have the right education and you are surrounding yourself with the right people to get these deals done, because there's going to be a lot of people that need help, and there's going to be a lot of investors that are going to be afraid because they don't have the right people in their corner. They don't have the right education, right? You need to have the right education and people in your corner to make sure that, you're able to help the people out there that are going to need us.
I love it, man. So one last thing I'm going to tell everybody. I mean, literally, guys, Edmund, I think the number one reason he succeeded was what I like to call ready, fire, aim. So remind me on our call, I got to tell you what this ready, fire, aim thing is. It's going to make a huge difference in your investing. So you're going to have a chance to meet with Edmund. Before I jump on, you can get a frank assessment of what this is like, what he's gained from this, and he'll show you your area and your property. And then I'll jump on. We'll get to know you a little bit and talk about this Ready, Fire, Aim thing that's just crushed it for me and helped so many people in their investing. I can't wait to share this with you. I can't wait to connect with you. So until then, see you soon, and let's go crush it in real estate together.
Have a good day. Thanks.